felt good. I feel that fan working. Oh, baby, we live. Let's see. Can we make this? Yeah, okay, that's working. All right, my love. All right.
All right. Here we
This
are.
is crazy crooked. We're the worst. All right, let's get this going. It's like my stepdad would say, well, that's good enough for this place.
Yeah, that's true. It's funny.
That's what Ray would say. All right. Let's go on. Let's jump in live. Let's do the things.
Let's do it.
Hey, sweetheart.
Okay.
This is a full body shot if you haven't noticed.
Yeah.
You good with it?
Yeah, I
No,
don't
I
care.
don't care either. All right.
Are you good with it?
I don't care. I just don't want people looking at my junk. Except for Phil.
Why don't we?
Phil can.
Oh my God. Why don't we raise it up a little bit?
You want to? All right.
Yeah. I know I meant like tilt it so it's not like in our legs.
Well, it shows more of the camera than we want anyway.
Up close and personal.
Is that a little better?
Yeah.
What do you think? Phil, how's that look? Ruth, how does it look? Does it look good?
We're not live on. How do they know?
Oh, we're live on that right now.
Oh.
We're very live right now. We're so live it hurts right now.
Sounds about right.
Okay, these are
Sounds
people.
about
These are
right.
people. We're good.
Yeah, it's super up close.
Oh my gosh, baby.
Like,
Okay, I'm gonna move it back for you. All right. Put your glasses on. Let's see how it looks.
okay. It's better. I can't have it like so up close. But I also can't have it like that angle.
Well, now, all right. So, Phil, you're watching this. So, Phil, I'm gonna be talking to you right now, and we're working on our thing. So, this is how I would work if I was YouTubing. But on TikTok, I'm not on screen right now, so I gotta move it over a little. But if I move it over, Phil, now you see my dilemma. It blocks Andrea. I don't like that because now I'm in the middle of this screen and the middle of this one, but now my baby's blocked out, and I can't have that either. You see my dilemma. So, but if I put it here, now we have to go like YouTube, TikTok. I don't like it, baby. I don't like it.
And put it back. It's fine.
Well, you're going to be reading this, but we interact a lot with these with the TikTok one.
Either way, we can interact. We've done just fine with both. And it's actually better with the comments there because then.
I like that. You can just look at both of them. I just don't want to block you in the shot, baby.
No, I know. But if you put it there, then I can see those comments and I can see like this thing over there. Then we can see both comments.
You want it over here, baby?
Yeah.
You like that better? You do more reading than me.
It's just easier because then we can both see the comments. And I'm not like this. Otherwise, that's what happens all the time.
Okay.
We don't. At the end of the day, I don't think anybody really cares.
All right, baby. Is it better for you? This is far though.
What happened to like how it always is?
I don't know.
Because nothing is ever always, but this feels so different.
It's always whatever is happening, baby. I just moved it up higher. That's why. You just said move it up. Remember that
Yeah,
one time? Do you remember that one time you were like, "Could you move it up?"
Yeah. It's
And then I
better.
did it, and now you're like, "Why is it different?"
No, I don't know.
It's live. That's recorded. Ruth and Phil watched the whole thing.
Go with easy. I'm with you. Like I don't. He cares about this stuff so much more than I do.
I'm a diva, Phil.
He is. He's not a diva with much, but he's a diva when it comes to lighting, and where stuff is.
I swear I never have this problem. It's never happened before.
Race to acceptance.
Phil goes, I can't read that now.
Yeah. Yeah. You can see my leggings.
Well, they see more on this when I go live, baby. I just don't want people to look.
That's what I'm saying. Like we've never had this issue before. I'm
Oh,
not sure.
no,
what
it always happens. It's just,
Oh.
it's just now we're super. Now you're starting to see what I see.
Yeah, I still don't. I don't care. Yeah.
I just don't like us now. This damn iPad's in the shot.
Where?
I love you so much.
Oh, I see. It's on
I
your
love you.
side.
I love you.
That's because it's covered up
'Cause
your.
you're like, who cares if it covers your side? It's you look.
You can
good.
put on my side too.
look good,
I
though.
don't really care.
Killing it though.
I just think that it's because it's covering up part of your muscles.
What?
That's why you care? Is that why
No,
you
no, the main muscles are over here.
Is
the
that
real
why you
guns.
care? Just kidding.
Gosh, what the fuck?
Did you-
Trying to watch out so it doesn't. So my pants aren't too tight and change the whole show.
Well, your pants are tight, but I don't think
Ends up becoming an R rating.
you're so weird.
That makes it weird. Listen, 'cause
You're so weird.
it's been suggested. All right, let's go. You want to start this thing up?
I don't care.
I'm good. How do you guys see? What's up, Johnny Greggs? We're doing our we're doing our what would you call this? Our setup live. We're just gonna set up live. Studio setup. These are the conversations that happen.
It's really only with him. I could care less, but he puts me through a lot. He makes sure all the lighting's perfect. I don't care. I don't care. It's him. It's
know how
sometimes just for the people on YouTube. Sometimes he kicks me out of here because I'm in the way. So
Wow. Hey, babe.
you do that.
What do you think about this setup? Does that look good?
No, it makes me sleepy.
All right, let's wake you up a little bit. All right.
That's better.
All right. And I'm the one. She's like, I'm gonna fall asleep on this own show.
Oh my gosh.
That's my baby. All right, let's hit buttons.
Stop
and
it,
do things.
Phil. Stop. Mm-mm.
Phillips.
Philip. Instigator.
So naughty. All right, let's get started. Let's do the thing. We're going live on this thing. We're live on this thing already. We're hanging with our people here. We got more people jumping in here. All right, baby, let's do the jam thing. Can you see this? You can see good?
Mm-hmm.
All right, good. All right, let's get professional. So we got our YouTubers are already going in. Our TikTokers are just jumping on. What's up, Louie? Southern Sunshine, we see you guys. So for those of you who haven't hung out with us before, my name is Rick. What's up, young buck? I see you. This is Andrea. This is my babe. So whenever you've seen some of the videos that aren't podcast videos, it's the Hey Babe videos. This is my babe. So when you guys are like, who are you, or what's that, or who's the voice behind who's the face behind the voice? This is her. That's my baby.
Yeah. That's me.
So what are we doing? It's Warriors Wednesday. We are going to try and help as many people out as we can by going through and answering your questions live and seeing if we can have our own Hey Babe video with you guys. We're like, well, here's a question for you. Yeah, that's what I told you, babe. That's what I told you. It's like,
That's so funny.
it's a lot. And listen, you see why I'm a diva on this stuff. You get it. Now, you want to move that closer?
Maybe. Just for you.
right.
I don't think you have to move it closer. I think you can just lift it, like lift this.
I love you, baby. Go ahead and do it. Yeah.
Why is that thing there? I'm like, oh no.
Mike Sneezy. All right.
Yeah.
Is that good, babe?
I
Phil,
don't know.
Ed, you guys see this?
But let me-
LB, what's up?
Let me look.
What's up, Paul? All right. Better?
Yeah, that's better.
Much better?
Yeah,
All right,
a
good.
little bit better.
Let's do our thing. Looks like I just woke up. All right. Let's jump in. This works for me. Actually, I see both of them now anyways.
Good. As long
All
as
right.
you can. It's good.
Are we going to have our 10th fight live? Are we going to do that?
Just kidding. I'm just
All
messing
right.
with you.
All right. So let's do this thing. Let's jump in. So for those of you who haven't jumped in on any of our stuff before, I work in the psychology world. I build programs, write books, and do stuff. My baby here, she's got certifications and Enneagrams and different things to help people out, and she's a badass. So what we do is we share our experiences, our expertise, and oftentimes, sometimes our subjective opinions to try to help you guys out through different points of view of things you're going through with your life. So you can ask your own questions and go, what do you guys think about this? Because I would like a little mentorship or wisdom or a different point of view, and we're here to try to help out our people as much as we can. I do have entire organizations and groups. We have a whole bunch of people who work with us. I usually work with men, but we do have a women's area too that our ladies also work separate from our guys. So when I'm working with men, I do have programs and I do things that help guys be able to grow into their leadership, their confidence, and understanding thyself well enough to beat back some of the things that plague them in those battles in the mind. doubts, fears, insecurities, anxieties, depression, anger. I train my men to make sure they can handle those things to be better leaders. That's what we do. I don't even know what that means. What does that mean, baby?
No one knows what that means.
Nobody knows what that means. That's an inside joke. That don't work for people.
I hope you're sitting there cracking up.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't.
That joke didn't land.
No.
Served.
People are so weird.
I'll laugh at it. I
That's
think
so
it's a good.
silly.
That's a good one. Any case, let's go ahead and jump in. If any of you got some questions or anything that's like, hey, I got a question for you guys, or here's something to work on, like, go ahead. Let's go ahead and jump in, ask some questions, and let's do the thing.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Let's do it. Let's get to work.
Let's jump in. So if anybody's got some questions, something they've been battling through, something that they've been working through this week, feel free to jump in.
Yeah.
Like, ask a question, put some things in. We're looking forward to helping as many people as we can today. Or we could just sit here and just keep being silly about the setup.
Yeah.
Dr. Ross, good to see you, man. Hell yeah. Let's see, before you begin, can you share your credentials? Know what I noticed, Dr. Ross? I'm going to be very open with you. I have a whole case, a whole bunch of stuff. I study psychology, CBT, getting into, I've got NVC certifications. We've got, there's a whole list of stuff I've done. Nobody honestly cares. What I would ask Dr. Ross is ask questions that would go into, like, are you competent at what you're doing, instead of just some guy who just throws his opinions out. Now, I've also noticed, Dr. Ross, you can't wait to share what your credentials are. So if you want, let everybody know what you've done, and that way we can get that out of the way, and then ask some questions. We're like, hey, how do we help people with this thing?
It'd also be kind of cool, too, Dr. Ross, that you have you guys, like, he has a podcast. So
yeah,
if it's something you'd be interested in, that would be kind of a cool conversation, too.
I love it, yeah. If you got something like, oh, I want to add some things or have some stuff, but what I've noticed is credentials mean less than competency. That's what I've noticed. A lot of people have plaques on the wall but have never been in the battle. People who have read the books but never gone and done the things. So I would say ask questions to go like, hey, how do you help people through these things? And let's team up on that. But, if you want to know about the Ben I have in storage with a whole bunch of certifications, it hasn't come up. Only when people want to talk about theirs, and so I'm open for you to want to share your stuff.
I was actually just having that conversation with the lady that I talked to, and she's a psychologist, and we just had the same conversation. And she's been doing this now for, gosh, I think she told me like 20 years, 25 years actually. And she just had mentioned how just the psychology world is changing so much, and she knows who you are, she knows what you do, and completely respects that as well. But it's interesting. It's just interesting all around.
I notice when people go like, what are credentials? They usually want to talk about their own.
We had this conversation about not even that, but she was saying too that nowadays that a lot of people that have credentials are not able to do the work. It's a lot of things are just book led, but not experience led, or really giving the right tools to watch people succeed. It's knowing the right answer, but not understanding the solution or even the how to get there. So we just had a very interesting conversation about that. So
yeah. So Dr. Ross, if you actually want to have like a, hey, let's talk, let's do it. I would love that.
Let's do it.
Whenever my guys come in to work with my group, the first thing they have to do is challenge my competency to see if I'm even worth listening to. So if you'd like to have a conversation, I would love that. I'd be very okay with it. I'm very cool with that. But if it comes down to like all the plaques and stupid things I have in a bin it's in storage. I don't even know where that stuff is. I have a whole bunch of stupid stuff like that.
I don't know either.
All of the experiences and the expertise that we have, it comes down to, can I do it or can we not?
Yeah.
So let's have that conversation. I'm cool with that.
Or just hang around tonight as we answer people's questions.
Look at this one. It says, what are good hair growth products for men?
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
You'd probably just have to Google it. I'm not sure.
I don't know. Listen, if anything, I'm probably losing hair more than trying to get some. It's funny.
Joshua.
Yeah, what's up, Joshua?
I'm a combat vet. How do I join the group?
Go into our bio and just book a call for free, and then we'd love to be able to talk with you and hang out with you. Let's just see. There's no charges, no, not trying to like get you to buy anything or nothing. Just come and check out and see if you like the vibe of the group. See if we're a good match for you. And we have options for you if you want to do stuff, or you can just hang out and be a part of the group for free. We're not, it's for need, not greed. So we're just trying to do what is best for people. But we have different expertise levels that, like, I want to go really fast, or if it's like I just want to be a part where I belong and I miss that camaraderie. We have that. We got a lot of veterans with us too. I also team up with people from like Hero Stock. We team up.
We'll be going there
we'll
again
be
this
going
year.
to Hero Stock with Jason. Let's see, we got Jason. There's Jesse. There's all the guys. There's a ton of guys in Hero Stock. I would just say check out Hero Stock.
Isn't it Rook It Up Warriors?
We got Scott. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of guys out there. So
Eric Mello.
Yeah, Eric.
Yeah.
Donnie.
A lot of good men.
There's a lot of guys out there. Yeah. So Josh, come and team up with us. We'd love to hang out with you, man. So just go and book a call for free, and then we'll just throw you in. We got Discord for free stuff, and just let's hang out. Let's match you up with the right people.
Yeah.
Cool. Fuel me once. Thank you.
Thank you. Fuel me once. So what questions do you guys have? You can ask us anything. For the most part.
Look at Johnny Gregg's. That's a good question right there.
Johnny Gregg said, instead of credentials, how about how many people's lives have you changed for the better? Seems more relevant. That's super relevant.
Well played, babe.
Yeah.
Well played. I got no microphones on this, just so you know.
Oh, okay.
So I know that you
I know
really
I know my energy's a little low today. Yeah, you're speaking my language. I'm like, what are the results?
Yeah, there you go.
What are the results?
Well done, Johnny Gregg.
What's the ROI?
Well played. What's the ROI?
Yeah. I've been watching you for a year now. Great videos. Thank you, Jones. DC McCauley says, what do you feel the reason is for more men taking leadership roles, not just as men, but as fathers?
It's actually a really tricky game, DC. Like, it's a really tricky game because remember, men, we have to wear multiple hats, man. Yeah. Like, I think women do too. Like mother, wife, daughter, sister. Like, we have to wear many hats.
Worrier.
I
love that.
Warrior. We got to be warriors.
I'm just no, you're not. It's fair.
Baby. So, it's tough, man. It's tough to be able to go between because the role of like who you are at work, who you are in marriage, and then who you are as a father, they're not the same thing. You can't treat those relationships the same. They're very different dynamics, and so it's gonna be tough. And so for you going like, man, how do you feel the reason is more men taking leadership roles, not just as men, but as fathers? It seems like it's two hats, but they have similar things. There's principles that we stand on, and there's training on things, and mostly this is where I see people struggling the most, is just not knowing how to handle difficult situations. I'm just going to be fair with you as a leader. Tough things come up, and there's also things that are like not positive in leadership that usually I could probably say, fathers, you can tell me if it feels the same way. Leadership comes with certain accountability and responsibilities. Stuff like you don't get as much empathy as a leader. Anybody who runs an organization or they're the boss of anything, like, tell me, if you mess up, it's very different than if somebody who just started off messes up. There's a video for leadership. There's a teacher who's writing on the board, and he starts going like, 9 plus 1 is 10. 9 plus 2 is 11. Mm-hmm. He starts going through, and he goes, 9 plus 9 is 83. And the whole class just starts laughing. And he's like, why is everybody laughing at me? They're like, well, you got that one wrong. I'm like, yeah, but I got 10 of them right. And they're like, you do one thing wrong as a leader, everybody laughs at you.
Yeah.
But you do 10 things right and nobody seems to notice.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the same thing where I know a lot of dads are like, please just give me appreciation. But those mistakes that we make are almost amplified. And it's, it's one of those things where it's like, dang, didn't you just see the 10 good things I did?
Yeah.
And it feels like that oftentimes for like, for fathers or leaders. I think just leaders in general. If you're the leader of the house, you do get there's less leeway. There's less humanity, if you will.
Yeah, like the human element is almost like, I almost think it's more of like the expectation of like, you're not allowed, or you shouldn't, like if you're in this role, you must always prove yourself like you are the one that is not supposed to mess up.
Which, if you fall apart, what are we supposed to do?
Right. But here's the crazy thing about this, it just came to me now. But as a leader, right, like even in my job as a leader, you want people to also want to be leaders if that's what they choose as the path, right? And if we're, as leaders, are being taught or being shown or being treated as you have to be perfect, you can't have any like human moments, who would ever want to sign up for that job? I can tell you to be like, might not be the job for me. And so as leaders, it's interesting that that's how sometimes we're treated. But then how do we recruit people to be other leaders if it's that type of
Brutality.
yeah, like no one would be
Judgment.
signing up because
It's a
it is such
judgmental
a
role.
tough position to be in. And understanding the human part of it is everything, and having grace for people. And it's interesting that there's not always that human element, I think, when it comes to being the leader and taking on that role, even as men and as fathers and as husbands. Like, men take on a lot. We've had a hell of a week. I was not
It's
doing
a
well.
month, baby.
A month. And I have not been doing good these last probably 5 days at all.
That's true.
At all. And this guy, like, I don't know what I would, because I was so like not doing well that he had to be my rock. But even for me as a woman, to put that pressure on him because I'm not okay and I was not okay this weekend, for him to have to hold it together when he's dealing with the same emotions that I'm having, and for him to show just like, I'm stoic, I'm here for you, I'm there for you, like, and he has to go separately to find his release, means everything to me. Here I am, I'm falling apart every second that of the day, and then also in moments getting so overwhelmed because I can't let out the correct emotions because I have to try to stay strong for kids, and then having very human moments, and he takes this time and he unloads, and I'm like, how do you do that? Because I don't think I could have. I did that, I feel like, for my daughter this weekend, but he did that for our family. And I will tell you, there's so much appreciation for a man like this that holds it together, at least tries. If the effort's there, I don't expect him to be perfect, but just even the effort for him to be like, I got you guys, whatever you need. I know he had to go and cry separately. I know he had to work through some things this weekend. But for him to be like, I got you guys, and he was there for us being strong, it's so inspiring because I can't be that for him. I'll have his back all day long. But when it's in the midst of tragedy, I can't be that person for him. I do need him to do that. But that's a big responsibility for men. Huge responsibility. So thank you.
You
Also,
got it, baby. Yeah, we got to be clutch in those situations. I train my guys on that one. Like, it's a leadership role where, like, I almost have to be superhuman in the clutch scenario. But then I had to take a day while she was doing her thing and I was doing my thing, and I had to do outlets and unload all of it. I had to do my heart, mind, body, spirit. I had to unload in every category. But the role of a leader is I don't need anybody else to do that. I can't go and give that to you, or I can't go give it to a buddy, or I can't go do that. I have to unload still. But I'll go and I'll do my praying, I'll do my meditation, I'll go cry it out, or I'll go write it out, or I'll go work out real hard. And I have to do mind, heart, body, spirit. I got to let it all out.
mm-hmm.
That way my outlets are good. This way I have more room for what you need. And I don't compound the problems by not knowing how to do an outlet.
Mm-hmm.
I then make my problems become your problems.
Right.
Then you become unsafe because I'm not okay.
Yeah.
I expect you then to be the one who can receive my outlet, but your cup's already filled. And if I go, I'm going to unload all the things I feel in the way that I feel it, you're going to be like, I can't take on anymore.
Yeah.
I can't take on anymore. I'm going to go like, well, what about me? And you're going to go, what about me? Oh, my God.
And it literally is this back and forth. And like I said, this weekend I've had several of those moments. My cup was so full, I couldn't take anything else. And so everything was like triggering me. And, this is not usually, well, in tragedy, I guess this is who I am. This is who I act like. This is me. But also, thank God we don't have to have moments like this. And we're very lucky for the one we did that things are working out. But, to have him there, I said to him that it's important for me to understand too, and have the awareness of how I'm coming across to him too, because I don't want to also, like, he's dealing with the same shit and the same emotions, but he's just handling it a lot better. And so, but being able to show him appreciation for that moment, because if we're both falling apart, it's just not going to work out. And so he was literally like my teammate, and we keep talking about teammates and how you guys have to work as a team, and how we continue to have to work as a team, especially in these tough moments. And the tough moments is where, like, it is tested. Are we teammates? Or are we going against each other? And I felt like we did a good job being teammates this weekend, the last 5 days.
Yeah,
So,
we're still teaming up. We got another month to go on this stuff. So,
yeah.
no, we had a tough situation, and so no, we're working through it. But I have to. This is part of where I'm trying to help. I know that DC's question was getting buried a little bit, but as far as like, I have to flip flop between like the role of like the man that I am, because who I am for my business,
Yeah.
who I am for my brothers, who I am for my baby, who I am for our girls. Like, it's not the same guy every time. It's going to be different. It's the same principles or same things, but I'm going to love on her. I can't be intimate and touch on people the way I touch on her. This is a very different dynamic that we have. And so I have to know when to switch those roles around, because I'm not grabbing anybody else the way that I grab my girl. Like, that's a different dynamic, but it doesn't mean that I'm a different person. It just means our dynamics are going to have to go differently, And so understanding the roles and switching between father, husband, brother, leader, the type of man I am for me, like, it's the same guy but different dynamics. I hope I'm saying that correctly.
It makes
like,
sense to me.
I have different dynamics I have to do with each dynamic that I have.
But the thing that I love that you're able to do, and I can do this in work environments, I don't really have a problem with that, is being able to shift and kind of adapt, where you also don't take, you could have easily showed up to your calls, even on Monday, and been just a wreck, right? Or been like super emotional. But I know you went in there and you were very like business, because you understand that your intention and your purpose is to continue to help other people, and you can't do that bringing your own baggage in.
Well, I unloaded it all on Sunday. That's why I took a day to unload everything. I didn't have anything to bring into that because I already let go of the things I didn't need.
Yeah.
And so it's training, though. That's trained or untrained, in case you guys are wondering what I'm talking about. To do what I did is not, I was born that way. This is skills that I have trained and practiced to be able to grieve, to be able to work through my control issues, to be able to work through the enemies within, which is like doubt and fear and expectations that I have for things, the excuses, the distractions. I have trained myself to get through radical acceptance on things that are, the belief systems I have around how I can use that through me to help other people, and then how I can let go of what I don't need. That's a skill.
For sure.
These are skills. I practice these. And so when I train my brothers and I train my men to be able to do this, that's because I do it.
It's so true.
And so we've noticed, like, stuff comes in threes. I had we had 3 big events back to back. Friendships falling apart. My dad had a really like life-threatening scenario, and then we had a daughter with a life-threatening scenario, all back to back. And being able to unload that stuff in a healthy way is skills. It's not just like I'm insensitive. No, I went through every emotion. I went through all of it. But I take the time to practice doing healthy outlets, and I do it alone. In DC, I don't know if that's helpful for you or not, but that's how I have to do it. As the role of a leader, it is lonely in those situations. Like, the things I can't fall apart if I'm the one who has to, like, I'm the strongest branch for everybody. I'm the protector. I'm the safety. It doesn't mean I don't have to be human, but I do know that when I'm human, it's not measured the same. Fair or not fair? When I have a human moment, everyone's like, oh, that's not good. But if you have a human moment, it's like, oh no, is she okay?
It can be.
Listen,
it can be
how's my human moments, baby?
Well, when
It's aggressive. My human moments are aggressive.
Don't nobody like that.
No one likes that.
Me, but my human moments are usually just crying. So everyone's like, You all right?
Now, brothers, what if my human moment was I just fall apart? I just cry whenever I don't like my emotions. I just fall apart and cry. Guys, if I start crying in front of my 5 girls, I got you, and then we got the teenagers.
Well,
if I just start falling apart on stuff and show my stuff that way, what do you think the human element of me doing it is going to be like? Oh no, are you okay, Rick?
We've talked about this like a million times,
Okay.
but
Consensus.
the consensus is it's situational. It is situational. If something happened, like what you were just going through too, if you were having a tough moment, it would be looked at different. If you were, again, I always use this example, if you dropped a gallon of milk in the house and started crying, it'd be like, oh, what?
Same scenario though. If you dropped a gallon of milk and started crying, people would wonder what was the
They'd be like, what is she nuts?
No, but you kind of dance on it. But I mean, seriously, babe, if something happened to you where you had a moment and just started crying, and they go, oh my gosh, what's really bothering you?
Yeah.
People would immediately go, what's wrong? What's wrong? If I dropped milk and started crying, the leader of the house, the protector of the house, the alpha of the house,
things would start to feel.
It would not be like, what's going on with you? It'd be like, what the hell's going on here?
The instability of the house would start to like get a little rocky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be the same. If you start crying, people would be concerned. If I start crying, people would start judging. If there's 5 females in this house, how many would be compassionate versus what the fuck?
Yeah.
So I have to do my unloading separately. I'll cry in the shower. I'll do my own thing. I'll let it all out. I go side of the building. I do my prayers next to our puppy's little grave.
Yeah.
And then like I go and do my unload, and I give it to God. I give my mountains to God. I unload. I have to unload all of it. But I have trained myself to not require unloading on her. I don't unload on our daughters. I don't unload on friends. I don't unload on people because not everybody's trained to handle the unload that we have. And your people that you're with aren't trained to handle all of your unload. They're not trained for that. Most people aren't therapists. Most people aren't psychologists. Most people aren't counselors. Most people aren't. They just aren't. And even the ones that are, their personal lives seem to be a mess. And it's like, well, I know of, but I don't do.
Yeah.
I do. And that's the difference. That's the role of a leader. A leader has to go and find a different way. I also have my own leadership group, guys who run companies and do big things. Like I have my own group that we can unload in a different way. It's just guys. And those guys can unload in a different way because they're at that leadership level. So men need men. They do. And just for any of you who are going like the fathership or husband or being a man, if you guys are unloading on your girl, I think the message here is like, you're just not my unload post. Like, I just don't unload on you.
Right.
You're not good at handling my unload. But God can carry that.
Yeah.
My weights are highly understanding. I can put it right into the workout, and like my weights have always been great listeners.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and my notebook always has space for me. It always leaves space to listen. You know, and I'll meditate and I'll let things go and I'll unload in different ways. The shower is always happy to cover the tears.
It's true.
It's like I'll blend those tears in with you.
Right.
Let it out, buddy. I'll actually be warm and soothing while you let it out, bud. Thank you, shower.
So true.
So I find my ways to do my release, my unload. But that empties my cup so that way I have more to take care of you. I know our daughter is going through a lot of stuff. I know you're unloading your stuff, and I have plenty of space for all of you. I made plenty of room. Yeah, we're going through the same scenario.
Yeah.
But I'm trained to handle it differently.
So I think it comes from my perspective then, just making sure that you know how much I appreciate you for doing this, and being that type of man for us is huge. And so if you're in these situations, just showing your guy, if you have a guy like this, showing a lot of appreciation, even if you know, you're clearly a highly trained and skilled man, but even if your guy is showing effort, how are you showing appreciation? Because most women wouldn't want to take on this role.
No.
I would.
I
would. I'm a leader at work, but I can't be a leader at home. I just can't. I can't. I used to think I could. I don't want that. I don't want that job.
Nobody wants the role of the leader.
But you're so good at it.
Thank you, baby. But nobody wants that. It's a service
Yeah.
job. It's a job that I serve others. I take care of my people. I have to give so other people have more. It's a calling. It's not like this isn't glory. This isn't all of you worship me. I am King Richard. This isn't a. That's not what this is. I'm here to serve. I protect. I put my life in the line for you guys to be good. What do you need? And I take care of you guys. So, DC, I know we just went on. God, what was that? Has it been almost an hour? No, it's been like a half hour. We just did a half hour for your thing. So we can go back
Jessen or whatever. Can you answer the question, please? I don't. What? We don't ask the question again because we don't see that you had.
I think there's no question mark. Use punctuation, please.
Yeah, I don't know what question you
See
have.
the all caps demand. That's
Yeah.
a demand.
Yeah.
Use punctuation, please, so that way we can see if it's a question or not a statement. That would be helpful. I love demands.
It's so silly.
It's funny. Thank you, Phil. You're like, I don't see question marks either. I see hello question mark.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay. All right. So we got a lot of stuff that we did miss for people, though. We got a lot of people who did have some things. Why is being the Rock so lonely? Megatron 880. That's a good question. Because what emotions do rocks have? There are no emotions for rocks. Well, who's going to have empathy, compassion, or love for something that has no emotion?
And he's also asking too, how do I recover from being the rock for everyone?
Yeah, the only way that I know healthily is for either you have your men that you unload with, like you can work through things with men needing men. Like that's the most empathy our guys have is like, man, I can feel you, brother. You're going through that. I'm with you on that one. How can we support? That's why guys have always had guys, whether we're out hunting, whether we're out working on the car, shooting basketball, go grab a drink, whatever your way that you bond is, guys have always had guys. Like we're always like, brother, I need backup. And if any of you don't have a good brotherly outlet or a good brother backup, we have it. We had to build it too. I didn't have a solid setup. So we built it in the Warriors way. Like we built it. We have a huge community of guys who all look out for each other. Heck, we had a couple of guys today that did some like high level stuff today. So it was pretty awesome today. We look out for our guys. So shout out to Greg. Shout out to a couple of the guys. It's like, we look out for our people. So find your outlets as far as it's lonely being by yourself. But if you're looking for people to be empathetic as you being that role, probably not. You're taking on everybody else's stuff. But you have to have a place to take it. And that's why I built one for our guys.
Yeah.
So if you need to do an unload or be able to work through stuff with our guys, we have that for you.
And he says, sadly, I got no one, Megatron, and I know that sounds, however, it sounds, but I honestly don't have anyone.
Yeah, well, jump in with us, man.
Yeah.
Come hang out with us.
Click the link at the top. Yeah.
Yeah, just jump in for free, man. I'm not charging people for that. Come and hang out. So.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Honestly, not sure what you do. I help my brothers, and it's actually really tough. Daniel, you've watched enough of my stuff. I work with guys across the board and everything, especially if you're working through, like, because I see the military sign on there. If I see a symbol right, I can't tell. It looks like, I can't see. It looks like military, but I help our guys work through everything. If you work through guys, I work with guys on grief. I work on leadership. I work with our men to have camaraderie, to be able to like work through difficult things, doubt, fears, depression. All right, good. You're Marine. That's what I thought. So the symbols are far away, so I can't see it. But yeah, if you're Marine, like I've got Marines, we got a good handful of Marines in our groups, but we have all of them. We got CBs, we got Army, we got guys all through the whole thing. So if you have to work through some of the stuff that, man, I'm still carrying all this stuff inside of me, that's what I do is I help my guys train to be able to have that warrior way to be able to fight back doubt and fear, the PTSDs, the addictions, the depression, the anxieties. There's a way to beat all of them, and our guys do that together. Like we've beaten them.
And it's done in such a beautiful, like these guys have I mean, they meet daily and everything's done virtual, but like there's an option to meet daily every single day of the week. And that's what's also really beautiful about what did you do, because the community aspect is so strong.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's so strong for, and it's unlike any other program that's out there, because I hate even calling it program because it sounds generic, but
It's not, yes. It was
the
more
community is such a beautiful community for men.
Yeah. This is the guy here, the GOAT. So you said I'm an ex-gang member. Yeah, way to get out, man. If you got out, well done. That's difficult to do. How do you deal with deconstructing from Christianity? Church hurt's a real thing, man. We actually have a Thursday night with a couple of our warriors. One guy is a doctorate in theology, and the other one used to be a pastor of the Dead Sea Scrolls. We also have a couple guys who are also deacons in churches who are like, church does damage. People in church does damage.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of times people they misuse God for personal use, and they'll try and use judgment and shame as a tool to control you. Jesus didn't like that very much. Jesus is not a big fan of judging. Jesus tells people, treat people the way you'd like to be treated. You go to Matthew 7. He's pretty clear on this stuff. Just start at Matthew 7, go Sermon on the Mount. Like, he's pretty clear. And so we have a Thursday night where our guys help translate and work through the stuff that, like, there's hurt that was put in there. And how do I find my connection to whatever you believe in? Because it's not a church group. And so it's going to be like, I got guys who they still worship Norse gods, or guys who are still undecided, or guys who are still law of attraction and universe. And it doesn't matter. Your spirit and soul exists, and your journey is your journey to find what your connection is. We have a lot of guys in there who are very Christian. And so you choose your path. You know, so you Judaism and believe in Jesus. Yeah, come in. I think that you would love, McPeak. You would love Papa Peak. He's a doctorate in this shit. You would love the conversations
Yeah,
with him.
he's wonderful.
He understands his stuff. You guys would have great conversations. So if you want to jump in, they do that Thursday night. So we've created our own space, because my challenge to those guys was the church does so much damage to people. Maybe not directly, but a lot of people, they run their church like a business, and it's not meant to really, truly help people. And so just join our community. Just jump into the website and jump in.
Yeah.
We'll plug you in.
Yeah. And if you have a hard time doing that, just send us a message on TikTok. Just request us, and then we'll send you the link to join.
Yeah. So just go and do that. It's for just so you guys know, that's just the guy side. And so our guys have a very different system that we have structured for this one. For our ladies, we have a women's group, but I work primarily with men. And so that's going to be the bigger part to it. So for like Daniel and Goat and all you guys who are like, well, how do I do this? Just jump in. We'll get you set up. Paul, I see you. Paul's Vitamin House.
Yeah. So a couple women on here
It's
are
in the
asking,
link.
how do I pitch this to my shy, strong, guarded man to join your community?
It's a really tough thing.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, it's always willingness. When I was talking, this still it comes up often with when I was working with Dr. Anthony Dahlman Jones. Him and I were talking. He's been doing counseling and therapy for people for over 40 years. And he's like, without willingness, there really isn't anything to do. He's like, so the question would be is, babe, for us, do you want to get stronger or better? Like, do you have a willingness to want to improve? Do you want to grow with me? Do you want to? And if they say, no, I don't want to grow with you. I don't want to get better. I don't want to do shit. There ain't no getting him to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing.
Yeah.
But if he's like, absolutely, I want to get better. Yes, I want to grow. Yes, I want to be a better husband, a better father, a better man. Yes, I need more camaraderie. I need more training, and I'm willing to do the work. If you got a fighter, if you got a warrior in there, just ask him, hey, you want to train with this? This isn't therapy and counseling. I'm not here to tell him all the things he's doing wrong. I'm here to train him on how to do things right.
Yeah. And
like, we don't judge each other. I don't judge your journey and tear your dude down. I build your guy up.
Yeah. And here's a little waiver, I think, for the women too, that can be quick sometimes to get their men help. And I would caution you on a couple of things. The first thing is making sure you're not wanting him to do this to fix your relationship or to be better for you when you have your own stuff too. The other thing is too, if your guy decides he's going to be in this community, he's going to grow, you better be ready to put on your big girl boots and be there, first of all, to support him, but start growing yourself, because this is not a, let me just send my guy off and he's going to fix all of our stuff. Absolutely not. That's not this group. He will fix himself and he will be a better leader for you, but you also have to be willing to grow too.
I will very openly crack his can on him, and I will show him all of his things. He will know himself. He will know the enemies he's got in him, and he will know how to fight. He will learn himself. But I will reveal him to him.
Mm-hmm.
But that will also reveal your shit too.
Yeah.
And if you have any issues with denial, you have any issue with truth, you have any issue with growing yourself, it will expose itself loudly. A lot of you guys met each other, or you chose each other when you didn't know what you were doing and you have unhealthy relationships. But then if one of you starts to go, I'm no longer unhealthy, I've worked through all of my stuff, and the other person isn't willing to do the work, it is only one of two things. Like, either this relationship dies or you grow with. Like, that's the only option. But if you want him to do what you want him to do, and that's why you want him to talk to me, I am not that one. I will have him be authentic, strong, make sure his pack is safe. I will make sure you're good. I will make sure the kids are good. But if you are the problem and you want me to fix him so that you can still be the problem, I will not be a proponent for unhealthy behavior. I do not suggest, I'm not a big, like, abuse is okay if she does it.
And that's,
no.
yeah.
Like, you
and
got the wrong ones.
on the women's side of things, like he said, he works pretty much 100% with men. We have the women's Discord group, which any woman can join that. We have two different women's groups, right? One is kind of a social thing where people just like to share things, and the other one is where, like, it's still a lot of sharing, but there's more of, like, trying to work through things. And so the women on the second group also will be supportive, but that won't be your community for women to also, like, tear down your guy. Like, there is full accountability.
Accountability, authenticity, empathy. Those are the big trainings for women.
Yeah.
But our guys, if you put your guy in with me, I will crack his egg. He will know his shit. He'll be like, oh my God, that's the stuff I do. We will tear out all of the curses in your man, and I'll give you a healthy one back. But if you have a healthy guy, it will magnify how unhealthy you are. Mm-hmm. If you think I'm going to change him so he's just like, baby, I'm here to serve you. The warrior's way has made it so that I'm just your punching bag now.
Forget it.
Nope. I will expose his shit, and he will grow, and he will work through, and he'll let go of his behaviors, his anger, his depression, his anxiety, his fears. I will help him beat those. But if you get a healthy guy back and you start sabotaging him, you start tearing him down because you didn't do any self-work at all, and you just want the rewards of a high guy, a guy who's worked on his shit, you're going to expose that you guys chose each other when you're unhealthy and you stayed and you got him to grow. You're going to feel the dissonance. You're going to feel there's a disconnect here, and you're probably going to freak out. One of two things. Either you work on your stuff and you grow with your guy, or your relationship will suffer because you'll start sabotaging your guy.
Yeah.
When you sabotage a trained man, it will expose your unhealthiness. As soon as you start judging, tearing him down, nagging, complaining to a guy who has his shit together,
good luck.
He's going to go, no, that's not a match for me. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Why are you trying to tear me down? I'm protecting you. I'm looking out for you. I've got your back. I protect our pack. I've got your best interest in mind. Look where I want to take us. You are accounted for. Your safety, your security, everything is a part of what I'm doing in every category. And yet, because you didn't grow for you, you're going to tear me down? A healthy man will not stand by.
No.
A healthy man will hold his line on you, and it will expose you for you. So before any of you go, hey, listen to this guy so you can do what I want. No. This is not your channel. You're
No.
going to want to go to somebody who's a little bit more enabling than me, because I will give you an authentic, strong, good man back.
Yeah. But be the woman that he also needs in supporting and encouragement, and do the work yourself too.
You better be a good woman.
Yeah.
Because if you're a bad woman, it'll expose. Because he was probably maybe not good when you met, which means your hypergamy system means you're probably not that great with your shit either. You both got stuff.
And to be honest with you, no one's really great with their shit if you've never worked on it.
True. Everybody's got shit.
You just know what you know and you live life just with that. But if you're not on a purpose to grow, more than likely both of you are just doing the best you can. That's what we all do.
We do give support for our ladies when our guys are going through program stuff, when our guys are working through Spartan training. We give support for our girls. Wives have options. We make sure the wives are included in parts of it.
Yeah.
There are exercises you two can do together that are beneficial. But if you have an unwilling partner, and that's in both sides, if you have a man who's unwilling or if a woman who is unwilling, there will start becoming a gap that's unclosable. You need willingness. If you do not have the will to fight, you will not enjoy being with a warrior.
It's true.
What's up, Tim? I see you, bud. I love Fight Club stuff. Well done, Tim. Way to go, bro.
Yeah, but he said my kids are a different story.
Well, being father and being partner is not the same. It's different. It's a different category. So I don't know I don't know your story yet, though, bud.
And hey, contagion effect, Eric. We were just mentioning you earlier. There he is.
I was look at that.
Good to see you. We're excited to see you in a couple months.
Heck yeah, I do get to see you soon. Hell yeah, it's Grandpa now.
Oh yeah, congratulations! Oh my gosh, what a blessing.
Yeah,
what a blessing.
You guys haven't seen the Contagion Effect.
Go check it out.
Great.
It's on YouTube. Just type in the name that you see there. He's wonderful. And Eric's also just giving him a shout out. He's a wonderful human being. Like Kinsley. Oh, so sweet. A girl. Good luck. No, I'm kidding. He has girl. You clearly have girls, so you already know what you're in for.
He knows.
This will be walk in the park. You could just spoil that little granddaughter of yours. That's so exciting. Yeah.
Yeah, good to see you, bro.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got a couple of things we missed, but I'm happy to see Eric on here. That's awesome.
Me too.
There's good questions that we missed. I know that. Let's see. Daniel, looking forward to hanging out with you. What's the website? We had a Daniel Bernard before.
What if I don't want a lifelong relationship?
I mean, then don't have one. I don't know. Like, don't get into somebody. Yeah. Don't get in a relationship with someone who does. That won't work.
Yeah. Just want to thank you for getting through some hard things in my divorce and helping me grow. Awesome.
Way to go, good Thomas. Is it Tomias? I can't. The name. It looks like Thomas is 52.
And then Goat says, we're just going to call you the Goat. I have tried talking with my family about my issues and trauma and has been used against me.
Not the place for it, Goat. Bring it here. I'll have your back. I'm not going to blame, shame, and judge you for your past. What happened already happened. There's a lot of life lessons in there, but you don't need to be shamed or have it used against you anymore. That's not how you grow. It doesn't matter anymore. Can't change what happened, but you can learn from it. So I'll have you, but also, like, that's the rule number 2 in the Warriors' ways. No blame, shame, or judgment. What happened, happened, man. We're past that. We can't change it, but we can grow. And that's it. Yeah. You got it, man. So family's just not who you're supposed to unload to. My baby, I love her, but that's not who I unload to. My girls, I don't unload on her. I don't unload on the kids. They can't take that.
And I don't share with my family either. If there's something going on, or like I'm irritated with him, I don't run to my own family and say anything about it. I don't even share with anybody.
Doesn't work.
Like, doesn't work.
We have to have our people.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a lot. Listen, I wish I could say it was just neglect. This thing's work. I'll be real with you. The beard's its own monster.
Yeah.
And, like, listen, I got friends who are, like, beard experts, too. Listen, I got masterful beard friends.
Yeah, you do. You do.
But appreciate you. Yeah, good job, Goat. I'm glad that you're here. How do you get over fear of speaking your feelings with your partner? I don't know. Maybe listen. Just let them talk.
Yeah, and what are you afraid of? Are you afraid of sharing your feelings, or are you afraid of the response?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up, John? I see you there.
I can't read his his comment.
Let's see. He said, and every guy, there's a key as a king. I think he's supposed to be a king and a fool. And
A tool or fool. I don't know. I can't see it.
I love that you said I can't see it, but you're going to correct
I
it.
still was like, let me help you
You
try.
can do it, baby. Just so you guys know, here's my baby. I love her so much. When she first got an eye exam, she thought it was a competition.
Stop.
I love her so much because she was like, the doctor was like, can you read this? And she's like, I'm going to get it.
I thought I didn't know. I never had glasses before. And like never, like the eye exam, not since I probably was a kid.
Yeah, so she was like,
And-
I'm going to win it. She's
and
like,
so-
E2,
And so
7. Like
the
she
moment
started.
I turned 40, my eyesight just went to shit. And I was like, oh, I probably should go. So I thought they were like, can you tell me what it is? I was like, yeah. And I was like really working at it. And I got them.
But
I
then
also
she got the wrong prescription.
Oh my gosh. Oh
You
my
won the
gosh.
competition, but then you lost the.
I was like, I didn't know when. No one told me. So, I finally got the right prescription. However, and then I was on an airplane and I put them in the little front pocket and they dropped off the bottom. Never saw them again. United said that they're looking for them.
It's all United, baby. Those bastards.
I'm like, why can't you guys see them? They're my
It
glasses.
had nothing to do with where you put them. It was they
It was
lost.
completely
Those
my fault.
Bastards.
Completely my fault. Completely.
Those bastards
So
got you.
anyway,
They got
United.
you. You didn't put them where they were supposed to go, but that's their fault.
Yeah. No, I didn't say it's their fault. I wish they would have found them because I would have liked those back.
That's fair. We'll get you some new ones. Just don't try and beat the competition. You're gonna. I'll get this right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get it.
Oh my gosh.
That's funny.
We are from the beautiful state of Illinois. Where are you from?
What's up, Cody James?
I ended my relationship. Oh yeah, we're gonna go back to his comment.
Sarah. Hey, Sarah.
Hey, Sarah.
If this is the same Sarah M, are you with Mike? Is Mike your husband? I want to make sure I have the right Sarah. Because I think Mike starts with me tomorrow.
We're like neighbors, Tim.
I'm pretty sure Mike's in my next unit, so Mike's training with me tomorrow.
Awesome.
If it's the same Sarah. I don't know if she's still on. I just saw it. She was like evening.
Alabama.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Megan, I see from Ohio. I gotta be open with you guys. I'm gonna be very open. Ohio's that's not my favorite state. Not because of sports or not because it's because I had to drive through it when I lived in Virginia. My family's from Michigan. Driving through Ohio, that should be the Autobahn. I think you should be able to go whatever speed you want through Ohio. It's just flat, straight, takes 19 years to go through. It's not my favorite state to drive through. It's just farmland, flat, and the longest roads ever. And the cops are like brutal.
Yeah.
They're like 65 and they're going to crush you. Like this, the cops don't play in Ohio. Those state troopers in Ohio, it's 65.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is not my favorite state. It takes forever.
Yeah, for real. Nebraska is worse. It absolutely is. And Nebraska doesn't have a nice water park like Ohio does.
Well, it doesn't have Sandusky either, but you don't drive through Sandusky.
That's true.
It's right near the right.
Yeah, Southern
Lake
Illinois
Erie.
too. It's rough. Danny, where are you from? Anyway, we go over whatever speed they want. I'm assuming Ohio.
Yeah, right. The Autobahn. Do you know what the Autobahn is, babe?
No,
I love you so much. All right.
I just want you to tell us.
In Germany, they've got a road. It's called the Autobahn that you can go any speed that you want.
Nice.
In fact, the police officers have Porsches because they have to be able to go like 300 miles an hour to catch somebody who's driving
Oh my
recklessly.
gosh.
So people will go fast. You want to know what the most dangerous thing on the Autobahn is? Difference in speed.
Oh, for sure.
If people are going average like 100 or 100 plus because they're trying to get where they're going, when somebody's going 60 and just cuts somebody off, that's a big problem.
Yeah, coming home the other day from the hospital, there was a car. Everyone was going like 65 highway speed, and this one car was probably going 35. And I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like, and it because that's a huge change in speed. I was like, "What is
Dangerous.
happening?"
Dangerous.
Everyone's a little frustrated. So, do you guys pray together a lot?
Maybe you didn't do a segue there at all.
Sorry.
You went from traffic to praying. You lost me.
It's fair.
Can you give me a segue? Like, how did you get there?
Tim asked.
Oh, you just jumped in?
Tim originally started this conversation about where do you live.
I'm listening to you like, this lady was driving 35 or that guy was driving 35.
like
There's a difference in speed. So Tim said, and I'm like, we're in the middle of a story. What's just...
I know. Oh my God. So true. I was like, I'm done with that conversation. Next. No.
You're like, I realize this is a you had to be there story. So, a meteor hit the city and we all died.
Yeah.
So moving on.
Oh
You're
my
like,
God. Yeah.
Do you guys pray together a lot? I don't know if it's a lot, but we do pray together. I pray over her, and we meditate together. That's probably one of the more intimate things that's pretty awesome that we do.
Yeah, it is good.
We don't get to do it as much as we probably both would like to, but
Agreed.
We'll sit back to back and we'll just meditate with each other, and we don't do it for like hours. It's maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah.
10, 15 tops.
It's interesting because when we meditate together, it's almost like we end up wrapping up like we're good at the same time. Have you ever noticed that? I don't think we've ever talked about that, but we're usually like pretty good about like,
yeah,
okay.
When you're done, we're done. That's pretty interesting.
No, that's not true. That is not true.
Okay.
It is super healthy. Well, you want to sit there all day? No. He doesn't. He doesn't want to sit there all day. I
just know my baby.
I tell him when he's done. Just kidding.
I just know my baby. When she's done, she's not going to sit there and let me keep going.
Usually, like the hands, like he'll let go of my hands. I'll grip them on real quick. Just kidding. No, and then he does like the most intimate thing that he's done. We've talked about this before. Is he gets up and his knees because we pray on what is that called, like a jump box?
It's a
like
fitness
working
box. It's a jump box.
Yeah, and he literally is over me and like puts his hand on my head and prays over me, and every single time I cry. Every single time. It is one of the most beautiful things I've ever like experienced in my life in any relationship. It's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Sam. Yeah.
He's a good man. I've never had a guy that leads spiritually, and I didn't know what to expect, and now I do. And as I was like, my spirituality got so much stronger this last year too. It's like, oh, that's a thing? Like, man, it literally, the connection is like, strong.
Thanks, baby.
Yeah.
She's been doing a lot of growing too, because you guys can see the appreciation she has for stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I've been working my ass off, and she's like, I see you working your ass off, but she also works too, and she's been working hard too. Not her ass off. I don't want that.
My God. Oh my God.
But she does a lot of work too, and so I'm very proud of you too, baby.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome. No, we work hard. We're a good team. We work hard to be a team, but she grows, I grow. We both have our own battles, but then we come together and we have each other's backs. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's important to know.
100%. Absolutely. And we of course we still have arguments. We're human. Like
we don't agree.
We don't agree on a lot of things, which is also fine. But what I can tell you that we won't do is I won't be like, I'm not talking to you for a day, or I'm not talking to you for a couple hours. We don't do that shit to each other. Don't do that. If you do that stuff to each other, just knock it off.
Dang, baby, you got a soft spot there. Preach.
I don't like that.
All right.
I don't like that. I'm like overly sensitive anyway about the whole situation we talked about earlier. So I just don't do that.
When people go, I'm not talking to you for a few days.
Don't do that. Like, let me just, you're going to get me, this is what I'm going to tell you guys really quick. I got to put my phone down for this one. Silent treatment is a reward for men. It may be, depending if you're nutso, but I don't know. Probably not. Danny's not. I'm just kidding. So this is what I will tell you. Doing that type of thing and holding, or telling someone you need your space for a couple days and you live in the same house, you never know what the next day is going to bring. And I know this is very fresh in my mind. I'll share this very briefly with you, the Cliff Note version. Our daughter was in a very horrific car accident Friday. I'm not going to cry. It was awful. Dang it. But she, thank God, long story short, is going to make a full recovery. That's great news. Okay. I went to work like it was another day. He went to work another day. And in those moments where you get a call and say your daughter is in a helicopter to the hospital, like, you think about those things, like, what is the last thing I said to this person? And I know that, like, we hear about all those things, right? The memes, like, you never know, like, cherish each day, or, make sure you don't say things that you're gonna regret later. Like, but really, this is so fresh in my mind, but it truly is. Like, if I got mad at him and I was like, I'm not talking to you until tomorrow, if he leaves for work and doesn't come back, how important is that not talking to you really mean? It doesn't mean anything. Like, and you guys are a team, but it happens all the time. You see couples say, well, I'm not going to talk to you. I need to think about it. And they wait 24 hours, 48 hours. And that is going to be like your thing that you stand on just because you're having a bad moment and because you can't talk it through. And you're going to have your person or you go out and do something, and maybe they don't fucking come back. Like, get a freaking grip of yourself. If you're couples that do that, knock it off, because life can change instantly. If you don't think that it can happen to you, it can. We were full witnesses of that on Friday afternoon. It was a nightmare conversation, a nightmare weekend. And thank God our daughter's going to be okay. But she shouldn't have made it. That's all I'm going to say. She absolutely should not have made it. And it's literally a blessing that she did. And we're grateful for that. But please, if you guys are couples, even with your kids, like, don't hold that time that you have. Like, try your best to work it out in the moment. Like, hanging on to something, not talking to your person that you're supposed to love and that you're teammates with for 24, 48 hours doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. In the grand scheme of life, is it really that important? No. Is it really that serious? No. So that's my soapbox conversation that I just get heated up about, because I'm like, you don't even know. And we just witnessed that this weekend. You don't know. Any moment can change and alter your life. And you're mad because, Jack didn't put the socks the way you like them. Now you have all the time by yourself to put the socks away the way that you like them. So appreciate the moments that you have with your partner and be a teammate. Don't separate from each other. That's it. I'm done. Thank you for listening.
That was great, babe.
Very healing for me.
Good. That was great.
It's been a hell of a 5 days.
That's
oh my God. Yeah. It just, it really is. Like, I truly mean what I just said. It truly do. Like, it comes from my soul. Like, yeah. Yeah.
Good job.
So.
That's tough, baby. Way to go.
Thank you.
Damn.
I didn't even cry.
Yeah, you almost did. I was here with you.
Yeah.
Cry it out. Let's go.
Know.
Don't give a shit. I'm with you. That was good. That was tough. Babe. Good job. She's pretty passionate about, like, don't give your people the silent treatment. I don't really see that. It's not really a good way to have a communication for a partnership is to go, I'm not talking to you.
No.
Like, how do you grow? How do you understand?
That's not being a teammate. Like, that's being like an opponent.
Well, think of it. Like, it's a punishment by what? I'm just going to take the commitment and safety and security that you have offered me, and I'm going to treat it very poorly because I want my temper tantrum. Now, here's something, too, that we've seen, too, is when you say I need some space and then you go to distraction. What a disrespectful move. Mm-hmm. This is a judgment, I am aware. But if I said, babe, I need some space, but then you see me scrolling TikTok, you see me playing games, you see me out just playing around and doing bullshit, and you're like, are you really thinking about our stuff? Are you taking the space to process? Are you really working through things? Or are you distracting yourself from the problem? Mm-hmm. Are you making it so we just don't have time together? What a spit in the face for the relationship. Mm-hmm. If you're not really going, like, let me just really think about this. I have to process this. If I needed space to go, like, let me have a little bit to think about this. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be deliberate with my time. We've been doing this for 90 minutes. I'll be deliberate with my time. It's not an accident that I'm like, I need to take some time to think. Mm-hmm. I'm going to process this. I'm not going to take the week. I'm going to give me, if I needed a day, I'd be like, I'll talk to you tomorrow. I need to process this, but I would use that time deliberately. If I needed to process, I would be deliberate with my time. But if I said I need time or space and then I just go into distraction, I'm doing anything except for processing. It just seems disrespectful to the courtesy.
Mm-hmm.
That's a judgment. I'm aware.
No, I hear you. And again, if that's what you're doing to someone, how would you feel if it was done to you? But that like goes out the window sometimes of like, no, it's just about me, 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 me. Like you are a partnership. You guys are a team. You guys are working together. Like think about the other person. Like how would that make them feel? And really think about it.
We're talking about empathy right now. I think it's just one of the level of people. People have to level up. They have to level up to that. You're not wrong, but I think they have to go into accountability. They have to have authenticity before they can share empathy. And a lot of times people mistake empathy for, well, if I was in that situation, I would feel like that. No, that's you. That's not empathy. So if you were like, I'm really sad, and I'm like, I had a thing like that made me sad. Let me tell you my story about my sadness. You see how it's not empathy? Well, I'm just trying to tell you a story that relates. No, you just took off of the pain for you to make it about me.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not empathy. And so people goof that up all the time because they share a similar story that's empathetic.
Yeah.
It is not.
Right. It's true.
It is not. So, like, that's one of those things where people goof it up. Granny's Undies, good to see you again, man. So there's a couple good questions. Yeah, Tim, she's home. She's home. She's safe. She's got some recovery to do. It's gonna be a month before she's walking again, but she will live and she will make a recovery. It's just we got a tough month ahead of us. That's all. So very blessed to though.
Yeah, I'll take that any day.
Very grateful to. Let's see. John Richard Batterino, he says, when you argue, how do you guys resolve the problem in arguments in general? It's a high-level training to learn your people. It's a high-level training. We've had to do this. Our defense systems, our control systems are opposite. We both start with denial. I don't want to talk about this. Just leave it alone. I don't want to get into it. We both start with denial. It's the suppression, like push it down. I don't talk about it. She'll distract herself from stuff. We go into denial first. But then once it starts going in, I go into fight. She goes into fawn. Like those are our next defense styles. And so she'll go into the negotiation. She'll control the conversation. She'll interrupt constantly. She's not really listening. She tries to control the questions. She doesn't answer any of my questions. She just goes into her own control the narrative defense. I get aggressive. I go into fight. I go into attack. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why aren't you fucking listening? Ah! Why aren't you stop interrupting me? Like, I'll get upset. And so learning each other's system, we also learn because she goes into fawning and I go into fight. We have to learn when our loved one triggers us. You have to catch your shit. If I get triggered or if she gets triggered, we know we're going to have problems. There's no more resolution happening once we're triggered. That means we got God. You got God. I got God. Like we got each other. We got each other. Damn it. Like we both lose. As soon as we're triggered, we're both losing.
Yeah.
If I start screaming and she starts freezing, if it starts going that direct, we lost. There's no more resolution. So what we do is as soon as it's triggered, we got to take a break. Now, what's a break mean, babe?
Couple minutes.
Well, I mean, not a couple, but it'll be like give us 10 minutes or do a cool down.
It's more of an agreement. Like, hey, are you good?
I got to take a break. We already talked about this when we weren't fighting. We take breaks when we get triggered. So let me go. I'll go to my weight room. I'll let it out a little bit. She'll go right or she'll work something out. And then we'll give it a couple minutes. Like we'll probably, the longest we've done is maybe 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And then we'll come back and we'll try again. Cool down. Let's try again. Because it doesn't work. If she's triggered and I'm triggered, we're not resolving anything. So we got to let our cooler minds get back into the game. All right. What were you trying to say? I'm here to listen. But please don't get defensive and controlling and listen to me also.
Mm-hmm. And listening really means listening to what it is that he's saying, but not adding my own thoughts or ideas or emotions to what he's actually saying, which that's what gets me into trouble sometimes. I'm like, I know you said this, but it sure feels like this.
Yeah.
It-
Why did you add stuff to what I said? That's not what I said. Right? If you write me down word for word, I am deliberate in my delivery.
Yeah.
And we've done that too, where we'll be writing, and I'm like, this is word for word. And then I put it down. I'm like, my response is that sentence.
Mm-hmm.
Don't add to it. Don't create intention for it. And don't put an assumption to it. It is word for word exactly what I mean.
I'm like, wow, so simple, huh?
Yeah, and then you'll be like, well, it makes sense when you do that. And I'm
Well,
like,
that's what you're trying to say. Oh, I actually agree with that.
glad
I
I
actually
wrote it
agree
down.
with what you just said. That is
We've had that.
absolutely.
We've had
I
that.
know. That's why
We'll
I'm
be
laughing about
arguing,
it.
and I wrote it down. I'm like, if you
I'm like,
understand where I'm standing.
Oh, got it. Yeah, me. I actually, yeah, I agree. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's so funny.
I'm like, we were aggressively agreeing for the last 2 hours.
Yeah.
How did you not see what I was saying?
I'm like, got it now. Got it. Yeah. Same conclusion.
In fact, it was your idea. Lord.
Oh my gosh, so silly.
Yeah. Tim, we do a couple podcasts every week for the Battlefield of the Mind. So it just comes out when it comes out. We edit them to make sure that the sound is good and the video is good. It's on YouTube, but we're coming up in over 150 episodes. Like, we've got a lot. But I have some really great guests. Mr. Gratitude was just on this week. I've had some really great guests. And so there's some big names that I've actually had on the show. Like, it's pretty cool. So go through and check out some people that have been on there. Our podcast is pretty solid. I go hard. I'm not an easy interviewer. I ask hard questions and I go hard. So it's one of those things. But check it out, Battlefield of the Mind. The Battlefield of the Mind, I know that Joyce Myers has her books, but check out the podcast. You'll see this mug on there. And, yeah, check it out. There's some good episodes on there. Like, subscribe, do all the things. You know the buttons. I don't have to tell you guys what to do. Your boy Blue. I see you, Aaron. Bro, I see you in the morning. You know that. We'll keep working on that stuff with you. I love that you threw it on here to support, though. I really appreciate you. But, Aaron, you know I got you, man. Let's see. Oh, I don't know. Things cartoon, man. Who cares what we identify as? We're human. The race I am is human. What race are you?
Same.
You're human race? Yeah, that's what we identify. Human. Let's see.
Hey, Robbie.
Does racism play a part in dating? If you're racist. Yeah. If
Yeah.
you're not, it doesn't.
Then you have your pick.
You have more
whoever you
options.
like. Right.
If you're not racist, then you have more options.
Yeah.
And if you are, less. So,
Nice.
yeah, it would matter.
We don't really get much into like labels of things for each other.
Let's see. How long have you two been together? We got 7 years now?
Yeah,
This is
I think so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're coming up on 7 years now. Yeah. Yeah, so we're 7 years in. 19
Wow,
years. Way to go, man.
congratulations.
Congrats.
That's awesome.
That's a lot. Yeah, way
Yeah.
to go. Thank you very much. Congrats on 19. You got 2
That's
decades.
huge.
Way to be committed. That's badass, dude. That's awesome. Drivix. That's my boy Robbie.
I know. I said hi, Robbie.
I didn't see it. I just noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah, way to go, man. If you guys haven't seen Drivix, he's got a good channel. He's like workout but also D&D. Like, he's got his
That's
whole
pretty
thing where it's
great.
like,
Good job, Robbie.
it's like badass nerds.
That's awesome.
He's like, it's tough nerds. He's like, we nerd, but we're also badass.
Maybe I should start watching it.
Yeah.
I'll maybe learn something and then impress you with my knowledge.
Oh yeah? What character would you make, baby?
I don't
You'll
know.
impress me later?
Yeah, I'll ask him.
Yeah. Robbie, you're gonna have
Or
to
Robbie, can you send me some hints?
Yeah, she's gonna be like, I'm a half-elf paladin, sucker.
Yeah,
And I'm like, really? Half-elves are rarely paladins. Why did you choose that?
it's rare.
You're rare, baby.
It's true.
I love you.
Very true. I love you too. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I actually played in one of his campaigns. I played in a couple of his campaigns. I was a half Minotaur samurai in one of his campaigns.
Remember we played Dungeons and Dragons once, and I was learning. It was the only time I think we ever played it.
played for a couple weeks.
And the guy was like the character, like the
You didn't-
storyteller,
you
and he
didn't
yelled, and it scared the shit out of me. I was like, ah, why is he yelling? Oh, I get it. Got it.
He was in character.
He sure was, and he did a
he
great
was the
job because
bartender.
he got me. I was
was
like, ah,
He was the bartender, or he was the blacksmith.
yeah,
And he played his role well.
he sure did.
And you were like, I don't know what's happening.
Like, why is he
He's
yelling?
He's like,
all of a sudden?
oh, good evening, adventurers.
Yeah, I was like,
Who would like some ale?
I'm like,
and you're like,
who's
I don't
here?
know what the
who
hell's
is he
happening.
talking to? Yeah, and
We're,
they're like,
baby, we're the adventurers.
yeah, I know. I had to get it.
Get in
yeah.
the game.
I was
Get
like,
in the
someone else here? Who else did we invite?
It's you.
Yeah,
This little
it was
figurine.
me, my little guy moving around on the table.
You got it.
They got it.
How'd it go?
Or on my dice, it has 20 different things on it. Oh my god.
She's the best NPC, Phil.
Oh, I'm sure you do need this visual. It's all you see is blank face and looking at him like, what should I do?
Robbie, you would enjoy it.
I don't think he's proud. He's not proud of that because he's a nerd. I'm not.
He's like,
I didn't
what
know.
level did you get to? You're like, I don't think I got to level 2. We didn't play enough to level up.
No, I don't think so. I don't know. I wouldn't even know if we did. I don't know. It's hard for me to connect with it because it's not real life.
Well, she struggles with abstract thinking. Some people can do it, some people can't. I think it's only 40% of people can abstract think. And so it's not like you're disabled. It's actually like it's just some people's brains are wired that way. But she'll kick your ass at work. She knows her shit. But when it comes to like, let's go into the imagination world,
I
she's
can't. It's hard for me to.
She just doesn't do abstract thinking as well.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, you should try it.
Yeah. See, Tim, I got a dragon on this arm, and then I drew both of them, but then this one's only half done. So if you got some really good tattoo artist who wants to finish this one, I got Angel of Death riding a nightmare, and then I've got a dragon on this side. This was more of the things I've overcome and stuff I've had to do, and this is one of those move away from pain things. It was a motivator for me when I got the tattoo. That death is always coming, and so make sure I make the most of every day. And don't waste days because I only have so many minutes. And so this is a reminder of don't waste your days. Every minute counts. You only get so many. And so death is coming. Like take your life a little more seriously. Don't throw your minutes away.
Yep.
And so these are my reminders. But this is things I've overcome, and that's things where I'm probably going to be, or I'm guaranteed to go. Death is going to be it's on my agenda. I don't know when. Hopefully a long time from now.
Oh God, I can't.
I'm hoping it's not soon.
After this week, I don't even want to even talk about it.
I'm planning on I'm halfway through 80-ish. I'll be okay with that. If we make it to the 80s, I'll be good. So, fuel me once. I mean, this is gonna take a while. This is like a 14-hour tattoo to finish. Yeah, but fuel me once. Send me DM me, man. Like, send me a message on like somebody because like the guy who was doing this, he moved to Atlanta when it was halfway done. So I have a half-finished tattoo. I've had it like that for years. Shoot, since like you met me. This has been a half-finished. Yeah, this is a half. Yeah, it's before I met you.
Yeah. Lives in Utah.
Yeah, I got people in Utah though. What a good question, Rolando.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want? What do you got for that one, baby? What are the pillars in place beforehand? Here's a really interesting thing that I do is whenever I work with people and I help them learn their values, their top 2 values, no one has gotten it right yet. And I've done this hundreds of times. My coaches, Phil, you can attest, Twinkie Cream, you'll get to see soon because I do it with you. When I work with people, and I go, I've done this with coaches, I've done this with authors, I've done this with experts, and I break down, let's go through your values. And they very, very rarely, so rarely, never has anybody gotten it correctly. They'll put down things like faith or family, but then you really break down their system and you realize that their main systems are going to be under service or growth or community, and you're like, it's not the things that you want it to be, it's the way that you actually operate. And a lot of people put down their values based on wounds. Like, I put truth and loyalty and honesty and integrity. And I'm like, who hurt you?
Mm-hmm.
My ex cheated on me and treated me like shit. She's a lying ass bitch. And you're like, all right, can we just remove all the stuff that comes from wounds and let's go into your main values? Like, how do you operate? And so whenever we go into how people truly operate, never gotten it right. And so even like authenticity and freedom, we actually remove Lily. I remove freedom. I remove love, and I remove um, trust. I want to say trust from the list. The reason why is because people can't tell me what the fuck love is. So it's just a blanket up in the air anything thing. We can't tell me what it is. But then if we go into freedom, well, you can't have any of your things without freedom. So you need freedom. So I remove that because without freedom, you can't do almost any of the values. And then when it comes down to truth, you can't have any dynamic without trust. That's what it is. It's trust. I took off the list. Without trust, you have no dynamics. So those are the givens. We already know. So how do you truly operate without the ones that like I already need? And so I removed those ones off the list. Actually, Danielle, we had a thing where I had a guy who said integrity, and I was like, tell me what it is. And he ended up writing 3 pages on it. We want to say, it's I do what I say and I say what I do. We wish that's what it was. But integrity as a core value means something far deeper. And so if I go, no, it's really an operation system I live by. I had a guy write 3 pages on it.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, that's what integrity means to me. I was like, well done, sir. Like, it means something more than just, I say it and I do it. Because if that was the truth, we'll go through your entire list of shit. You're going to be like, can I change integrity? Because sometimes I don't always do what I say.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, well, what if I never make a commitment? Then I don't have to break it. I have outsmarted my integrity. I was like, is that integrity? No.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't say I was going to do that. I was going to commit to that 90-day exercise. I was committed. I'm like, I ain't saying that shit publicly. I ain't going to make that. So when you get into it, when we got into our values, I know our main ones were very different, but yours was loyalty, but you also were hurt. And so that was important, but we also agreed on loyalty. We agreed like we don't want to be with other people. Mm-hmm. And that's our relationship. We are very, very committed to each other. I'm not with any other women. She's not with other men. We're each other's person. That's what we do. We both agreed on that. I agree. She agrees. But then there's also different traits to it. We have different characteristics. For me, I'm very big on growth. And it was important to me. Justice was a very important one, but I've actually outgrown the need to control justice. I don't have that as one of my main ones anymore. Mm-hmm. And what was your other ones that you have? Where are you at? Yours is probably different now.
Mine were probably safety, security, but security is very important for me because not only have I provided that for my family, but also the more I feel like it's just shifted, I now want that security in a dynamic to a feeling safe, and also kind of letting go of that piece of me where I felt like I had to do it all my own. Now it's shifted a little bit.
This is a complex question.
It is.
Like, Rolando, good job. Like, 'cause I'm looking at the role of a man, the role of a father, the role of a husband, and I'm like, this is a complex list because I have at least 10 things on my list.
Yeah.
And I know you've got a list for you. Like, this is what a woman does. This is what a mother does. This is how I operate. To say, like, what are our core, like, the value, the pillars that we run into? I'm like, there's more than just, like, 4.
Yeah, there are. And it's also the question of, like, when things get tough, what are the things that you default on? Like, what is going to be, even in tough moments, what are the things that you are like, I don't waver on those things. And for me, it's 100% it's loyalty. If we're having a tough moment, I don't just run and go to the next person. I'm still loyal to him. The security piece too, I will still make sure the home's taken care of. I'll still make sure my kids are good. I'll make sure that I still have his back. Like, I don't just...
There's a lot of pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot because she's got a lot of stuff. I got a lot of stuff. Rolando, actually would be cool to have a conversation with you and like work through it. Like, we do this with our men, jump in with our guys. And like, we've had these conversations. We have lists that we've put together where we believe this is our role. That's what we do. And
Mm-hmm.
we've done lives where we've gone through the list and shared that stuff. We can do it again soon. But we have that. Rolando, I'd love to be able to run through some of that stuff with you. I think you'd really enjoy the
Yeah.
conversation. It'd be very cool. So that would
Thanks
be
for jumping on,
it'd be
Tim.
cool. Who's it? Angie? Is it Angie Debats? Who who are you? I don't know the screen name, but you said you've been through the program and it changed your life. But I don't know the screen name. My apologies. Is it Angel? I don't know
Thank
who
you,
that
Tim.
is. I don't know who the screen name is, but I'll know as soon as I know who you are. Yeah, but Rolando, if you book a call with us, I'd love to be able to just hang with you. I'll introduce you with the guys. You can jump in the community, and then I'll share the results of all of us guys pitching in what we think our role is, and then being able to have that share. You can share that with your future wife or with your wife. It's a really cool conversation. Just gives us more direction. It helps us become more authentic and strong. It gives us good training to be better men, better husbands, and then gives you guys both agreements that you guys can work on to go right. But it's not an easy thing.
Mm-mm.
Remember when Anthony Dahlman Jones, he had another psychologist and he had an attorney, and they were going to go through like multiple couples. I think he said like 50 couples that were like it was two psychologists, a pastor, and an attorney, and they wanted to go through all the elements of it.
Mm.
And so there was like 4 stages. Then it would get into like whose roles are what, who's gonna do what thing when you live together, and then like the spiritual element and the connection part. And it got all the way down to the last part. It goes through all the stuff for marriage, all the way to the attorney, where it gets into the legalities of things and what does that look like, and what are the taxes and state requirements and all that stuff. 4 different sessions to get to the fourth one, which is the attorney. I got a question for you guys. Once couples started going like who's going to do what and who's responsible for what and who's going to be doing what things, and I'm not doing that, you're supposed to do that. How many couples out of 50 do you think made it to stage 4, the attorney, before they got married? How many do you guys think made it that far? Just just a guess for all of you guys. So 3, 0, 5. How many couples do you guys think made it to stage 4 out of 50? Like, we got this, babe. We
I
got
don't
this sorted out.
know.
You said 2, JC.
In MUA, I don't know who you are.
Deplorable. You said 12. Snorlax probably 14. You're good. All right. These are good numbers. Bobby Brown jumped on. All right. So let's see. A couple people have the right answer. Let's see. Yeah, Danielle, you were hoping all of them. The real answer out of 50 couples going into this conversation of like, what are our roles and what does it entail, and the spiritual element and the commitment element and the who's doing what, and then the legal element of things, 0 couples got to the
So
attorney.
sad.
They just didn't know what they were getting into. They
That's
didn't
true.
understand each other. They
Yeah.
didn't know what it entailed. They had very different expectations of the relationship is supposed to be like this. And they'll go like, it's supposed to be like that. And you're supposed to do this. Well, my dad did this and your mom did that. And you're supposed to do that. And no, I'm not doing
Yeah,
that.
or-
It's your job.
Well, especially this day and age we live in now, too. It's like add in social media and people's expectations of what a relationship should look like, or, all of that
This
nonsense.
was like 20 years
yeah,
ago.
but can you imagine? It's probably still the same now. 0.
Yeah. People go in with expectation and not conversation. People go in thinking you better start doing all of these things because that's what my mom did or that's what my
Yeah.
dad did. And you're going, I'm not them. No, we need agreements. We're different people than
Yeah.
them. We don't have that relationship. And the expectation changes with commitment. And then going, well, now that you're my person, which is a dangerous sentence to say, like I own you. Possession is not love, by the way. I possess you. You're mine. That's not love. No, I choose you.
Mm-hmm.
She chooses me. We're each other's person because we choose, not because I force, not because she's locked in, not because I make her. Now I own her. She better do things I say because she's mine now. Possession is not love. That is not love. It's not. Possession is in partnership. I'm going to chew on that one. If you're like, well, he better do this or she better do that. Possession is not love. That does not work. Well, this is my baby. This is my baby. And so like we are extremely committed to each other, but not because she's forced, but because we choose.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a different thing. But we've had to work through all of those things. We had to work through all of those things because when we started, I don't know if we would have made it to an attorney because we disagreed on a lot of shit we had to work through. We would have, I don't think we would have made it either. I'd have been like, that's not my fucking job. Like, we would have not agreed at the beginning too. In fact, it was very flip-flop. She took care of more than I did. Not because I didn't want to, but I just wasn't in a position that she was in. She was in a far better position. She took care of me at the beginning. Now we're in a better position where it's not like that.
Mm-hmm.
But we had a game plan. So it was a lot of work. We've done a lot of growing through these things.
So much.
But
Yeah.
to say at the beginning we knew what this was going to look like, we had no.
We were fumbling through hard.
A mess. You know, so how long did you get all through for all 4 stages? It was supposed to only be like 4 sessions. It was only supposed to be like 4 days. And nobody got to the 4th day. The attorney was like, is nobody showing up here?
Waiting.
Too many arguments.
Yikes.
And so the point is people don't know what it takes to truly have a long-term, committed, solid, healthy relationship because they don't know the conversations to have.
And
They don't know the questions. We come in with expectations. I have demands instead of requests. I'm going to tell you how you need to be. Now that it's my place and not just your place, you need to do it my particulars. And it starts turning into like a dictatorship and not a teamwork, not a partnership.
and these days it's so easy just to get a divorce anyway. Like people don't put in the work like they used to. They just don't. People very quickly give up. And I don't think
It's a sad sentence, actually.
it
Like,
is.
love isn't worth fighting for anymore.
Yeah. I don't think that it is. You see too many divorces now. Like people aren't willing to, I don't even know if they're not, well, clearly they're not willing to do it, but I don't think they know how. I think people are just,
I wonder if it's the how as much as the, like the willingness.
mm-hmm.
Because, like, how presents itself if you're willing to fight.
Yeah.
If you're willing to do the work, how presents itself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how always shows up.
Yeah.
But if
You're
you
right.
don't have a willingness to, like, journey, a willingness to grow, a willingness to work on it, you can't find how because you're not looking for it.
Mm-hmm.
You'll lean into excuses. You'll lean into justifications. You'll lean into the things that make it so like my truth instead of the truth. We change the story.
Yeah.
Our belief system makes it so why should I have to do that when they should be doing this and they should all over their relationship? There's no willingness to grow. The how would present itself if we just listened for a second.
Yeah.
The how would present itself if we started looking for opportunities instead of looking for excuses.
Yeah. It's so true.
I think the how is not the problem. I think the willingness is the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Do you
Yeah,
have
you're
the
probably right.
warrior spirit in you to fight for it if it's worth fighting for?
Right.
And if you don't blame them because you don't have a fight.
Yeah.
It's done. There's nothing. You have no fight left. You're done.
Sad.
That one didn't make it, but you're not willing to fight for it. There's nothing there then.
Mm-hmm.
Can't make people do things they don't want to do.
Yeah. Agreed.
So I wonder, that's the story, is like, when is love not worth fighting for?
Mm-hmm.
That's a choice. Brutal one.
Mm-hmm.
It's a brutal one.
Yeah.
And that's both sides. It's not like he better
Yeah.
or she better. That's
Mm-hmm.
if you guys gave up, you got to own that part. That's
Yeah.
you. That's your accountability. I quit fighting for love. I quit.
Yeah.
I gave up. I stopped. Well, they didn't do what I think they should do. You go ahead and create all your expectations, your excuses, your justifications. How you're the good one. You gave everything. You gave everything. Go ahead and post it. Post it for everybody. Tell everybody how hard it was for you when you gave up.
Mm-hmm.
You go ahead and do that. Go ahead and share your story.
Yeah. It's true.
Poor them.
Poor them.
It happened to them.
Mm-hmm.
You made a million choices for that to happen. But those don't count.
Mm-hmm.
Quit fighting for love. I gave up.
It's your person.
Dang. That's
It's
tough.
like something really has to happen for you to go being so in love with someone and want to get married to.
I can get another one, babe. I can just swipe. I can swipe and get a better one.
Good
I
luck.
can just swipe. There's a million of them just waiting for me.
Good luck.
Swipe, swipe, swipe.
People don't know what they're doing. That's so dumb. Like
It doesn't work like that.
it doesn't. First of all, it doesn't work. like that. But second of all, like, you're looking for quality, not quantity. Like, people are, I think everybody's just confused.
We're all doing our best.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean good. We're all doing the best that we know. I don't think anybody wakes up going, I'm going to fuck my own shit up today.
No.
I don't think anybody's waking up like that. They're like, I'm going to do the best I know, but I can't make choices that I don't know exist. So how do I do better? I don't know. No one's ever shown me. I didn't have a mentor. There's a lot of guys who either were removed from the house or there was no dads.
Yeah.
People have very difficult upbringing, and so it's going to be pretty hard. It's hard for people to know things they've never seen.
Absolutely. And around communities, and it does. Whoever you surround yourself with makes a huge difference. Huge difference. Whatever you're plugged into socially also makes a big difference.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at Rob's thing.
What?
Rob said, what advice would you have for someone that was told by their cardiologist to quit smoking after their second heart attack? I would probably tell them, quit smoking after your second heart attack. I would agree with the cardiologist. That's my advice. I would agree with the expert on this one that smoking is probably not going to be good for your heart after your second heart attack. That would be my advice, is listen to the expert, because they're a cardiologist going, I work on hearts all day long. Smoking isn't good for them. As an expert who's not on hearts, I work with minds and behaviors. Well, I don't know, but seems right. It seems correct. I don't know. Maybe you should stop doing the thing that's making your heart stop. Sure isn't helping it. Told him to read Atomic Habits after quitting. Remember, Rob, it's the willingness, man. Quitting smoking is the thing is with the belief system around quitting smoking. How many of you have heard quitting smoking is almost impossible? Like, it's extremely hard to do. How many of you have heard this before? Just to make sure I'm talking to human beings. How many of you heard that, damn, quitting smoking, it's hard. It's really hard to do. It's almost impossible. And people who quit, they end up coming back anyways. You guys have heard this, right? You know, from a smoker. Yeah. Sarah, you've heard it. You guys are like, yeah, no, I've heard that. I heard it's like, it's almost impossible to quit, right? Well, the guy who wrote Atomic Habits shows like you can do it like overnight.
Yeah.
In fact, he's done it with like millions of people. It's like, if you ruin the system, there's, I think they added the Q part to it, which, not the letter, but like the waiting in line part, like you're set up, like you queued things up. Like I put things on the table. So it was a cue, and then it was trigger, and then behavior, and then reward. Mm-hmm. Like that's your habit system. And first we make a habit, and then our habits make us. Like first we make it, and then our habits make us do it. So it reverses itself over time. And so once he started breaking the reward system, like smoking's not a reward. It's not stress relief. It's poison, or it's hurting, or it ruins your family, or it kills stops your heart. And as soon as like it's not stress relief, the habit itself starts to become like gross, and I don't like it. And people will quit like overnight. He would just change, just ruin one part, make it so you don't have any. Well, you have to quit. There's no more cue there. There's no more line. There's no more opportunity. You know, disrupt the behavior in any way, and you're able to quit it overnight. But the belief system that it's really hard, if not impossible, to quit smoking, that came from the smoking companies. Cigarette companies made that. Mm-hmm. Not a lot of people know the psychology to where that came from was cigarette companies told you it's impossible to quit smoking, and people believed it.
Yeah.
They spread this rumor. And now the belief system that it's impossible to quit smoking is now in smokers, and they will never, ever be wrong. You will always be right on your beliefs. You don't even need a fact to have a belief. If you believe it, you are right. Mm-hmm. If you believe it's impossible, you will fucking make sure it's impossible. But if you believe, like, no, that's possible to quit. Millions of people have just done this. It's very possible. You're right. Then you could. Whatever you believe, you're right. You're absolutely correct. If you believe you can or you believe you can't,
You're right.
You're right. You're absolutely right. And the belief systems behind this were put in by cigarette companies. You're right, it's Henry Ford. The belief systems for the cigarette companies to say, like, it's impossible to quit. That was a strategy. It's a psychology to make it so people will believe a belief system to keep them buying more. And so for any of you guys who are like, man, I'm trying to quit smoking, but my belief is it's impossible. It's like, looks like you fell for the marketing campaign because this guy who wrote Atomic Habits shows people do it overnight all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just your belief system is it can't be done. You're right. But if you're like, people do it all the time, you're right.
Me too, Danny.
Whatever you believe. Truth Serum R.I.P. That's a cool name.
Danny says she's still believing she's going to win the lottery.
You got it. You got it, Danny. I think you're going to win.
We believe in you.
I believe you got it. How do you deal with a wife on her period, grumpy and all? I don't know, patience and understanding. Listen, I'm just going to put it out there, Nelson. Just, I remember I was in cross country, and I got cramps one time running. Like, I had a cramp when I was running, and it hurt so bad. I was still in high school, and I'm like, is this what you girls go through? And, like, I had girls that I knew who, like, their periods were so bad they would black out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was so painful, the cramps were so bad that they would, like, black out. It hurt so bad. Is it everyone? No. But it existed. Like, I didn't understand. I never had a period, but I did have cramps from, like, running, and I was just keeled over. It hurt so bad. And I'm like, from this moment forth, I ridicule no woman on a period. I'm like, if this is what you have to feel, screw this. I will be empathetic towards what you're working through, because I'll be a crabby asshole if I feel like this all the time, like for even a day or even a week. If there's a discomfort like this where I feel like that, I'll be empathetic. I'll be like, what do you need?
But sometimes
versus
not the pain. It's
shut
usually,
up,
because the older you get, that, like, I think for a lot of people it kind of goes away. It's just the emotional piece of it where things do not make sense. And I'm assuming that's probably what you're talking about.
What do you think justifiable because you're having a hormonal day to be absolutely cruel to your partner?
No, I do not.
Wait.
I do not.
Wait, no, let me ask you different. When she's on her period, it's totally okay to be abusive to her partner.
No.
She's on her period. She can be as mean as she wants.
No, you can't.
Hold on. Ladies, I'm trying to ask you right. Maybe I'm not asking correctly.
Stop.
No, she's on her period, which means she can say and do really mean things because it's that time of the month. And so he should just be a punching bag for cruelty.
No, this is what I think. It's both sides. I think it's, no, you're not a punching bag. Will things come out sideways sometimes with the intention not being what it sounds like? Probably. So I think you also just having a little bit of grace and also kind of separating yourself from those, like, don't take anything personal. Like, just don't.
Well, sometimes girls will say things you can't sorry.
Well, then why, ladies, why? There are things that you can control that come out of your mouth, even if you're on your period or not. Saying cruel things, you get a grip. Like, that's crazy. Being emotional, or someone hurts your feelings, or you're like, I can't stand you today.
I never loved you.
Don't say
You're
things
the
like
worst.
that.
I hate being with you.
No,
you can't sorry those away.
That.
You can't sorry those away.
Yeah. So just be cautious.
Sorry can be said, but Jill, if your guy said, I've never loved you, I hate you, get away from me, and then later go like, yeah, I didn't mean all that shit. You're like, you said you never loved me.
No, like, why, again?
You said you hate me.
You care the most about. Don't treat your person that way. I will tell you, for me, and I know it's different for everybody, I know what I'm saying most of the time. And even during hormonal months and times, like, I get sensitive. I will never say anything that...
Go ahead and see if you agree with Lily Starr on this one. She says, a woman has the right to be angry and upset. Validating her emotional eruption goes a long way. What do you think, baby?
I don't know if I agree with that, Lily.
But validate her emotions
Lily,
immediately.
Flip this around. Let's say your guy decides that he's just going to snap at you one day, and he's going to yell, and he's going to get angry. Are you going to validate his emotions when he's like that?
Anger's how we cry. If he's very angry at you and doing mean, aggressive things, validate the shit out of that guy.
This is where women
it goes a long way.
Go wrong. And this is what I will tell you, okay? And this is what I've learned. If you don't want someone treating you that way, don't treat people that way. I don't care what it is that you have going on. There can't be a justification for awful behavior. That's all it is. If you find yourself, well, it's because, then figure out a different way to cope with it. So if I say, I'm on my period, I know I'm going to be a jerk or a bitch or whatever word you want to say, because I can be. I know I'm going to separate myself. I'm going to maybe stay on this side so I don't get irritated, because usually it's more of like I get irritated with little things. I know that about myself. At 44, I'm like completely aware of how this is going to go. I'll give him a warning even, and I'll back off. If I said shitty things to him, I should just expect him to take it. Then when the table gets reversed, if he decides he's having a tough day, I'm supposed to be like, I'm just going to then validate. Like it has to come full circle. We can't, as women, have our way and treat people horribly and just expect them to deal with it. But then we can't even handle it when something goes sideways with us for a moment. It doesn't work like that. That's where I'm going to leave it.
Damn, baby.
I believe that. Like,
no.
Especially when.
Hey, I'm proud of you.
Especially when this is your person. We talked about this tonight. This is your teammate, your person. If you're treating your person and your loved one with justifications, I can treat you like an asshole because it's that time of the month, or just even in general, you're the one that's doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. Because guaranteed, you don't want to be treated that way. So don't treat your partner like that. The person that you're supposed to love, don't treat them like that. So anyway, that's it.
Dang, baby. It's good. No, that's powerful stuff. That was actually really beautiful. When people say validate your emotion, just so you look it up, validating emotions mean is correct and true. No, I can acknowledge your emotions. I'm not validating them. I can see you're going through something, but I won't say you're right or true. I can see you're going through it. I'll acknowledge you're working through something. It doesn't mean I validate it as correct or true. In almost any case, if you're having an angry outburst, I don't agree with you.
Right.
In fact, if you're using anger to try to express yourself through control, through anger to force things to be a certain way, to be aggressive and hurt people, how much abuse is free? How much abuse can somebody take for free? When is it like it's okay to be abusive because I am in a bad mood, so abuse is okay today? There's no justification for terrible behavior. Dang, baby, that was powerful.
There's not. And if you're with a man that is the leader in the household, is taking on these responsibilities, and I know as women we also have ours too. I'm not saying that.
Are you saying women don't?
No, I'm saying like I can hold my own. I really can. I can really hold my own.
I'm just kidding.
I'm just saying that like the appreciation that we're showing our guys and the burden, like if you have a man in their house that is a leader, really showing him that appreciation. And if you have a guy that's like that and he has a bad moment and you're basically, saying like it's too much for me to handle, like it just has to be, I know I'm just talking in circles at this point, but it has to be the golden rule with that stuff. I know I just said that. That's all I have to say.
You so boxed.
I'm just doing it
You
again.
did it.
I'm just doing it one more time.
You did it, baby.
Halfway.
You did it halfway. All right. We can actually, I think actually what we're going to do is text Scooter, TX Scooter. I don't think this goes on the podcast, but we do put this in our Patreon. So when we go live, we put this up for our Patreon people to keep watching.
To relax.
Yeah, that's bad. You're badass, baby. But there's no justification for terrible behavior. And I think that if a guy's having a bad day, it's a justification for, justifies abuse. I don't think it does. And I don't want to say like, I understand what it means or feels like to go through the same, because girls go through 4 hormone shifts throughout a month. I can't say that I can relate to it. And that's so I can have empathy or understanding, but I can't say it's also justification for me to deserve abuse.
No. And again, I'm human. I've had my moments where, after 44 years, I know what to expect. And sometimes it catches me off guard. I'm like, okay, this is not me. Like, let me separate. I'll give him fair warning. Like, hey, just heads up. This is nothing with you. We're good. I'm just having a moment over here. That stuff is super fair to do. But if it was like that every single month, and you have 12 months of the year, and I just go in and I'm like, you should just take it.
You deserve it.
That's not okay.
Because I love you.
That's not okay. Then you, as a human, have to be able to figure out a different way to handle it. And maybe that's
I'm gonna pause for a second because I'm in this. Wait a second. That's what you do to someone you love, which means that's how you love.
I don't like that.
When it's that time of the month, I'm mean as hell to you. Why? Validate my emotions. I'm angry and I'm upset, and you deserve to hear my side. And that's how you love. Go ahead and write that shit down. The way I treat my partner is how I love. And if you put justification on that, you better go hang out in the mirror. Yeah. Because your accountability, your authenticity, and your lack of empathy are obvious. And you think it's them.
You have to have accountability.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Damn, baby.
Yeah. I get a little irritable. That's why I have to, like, fair warning. I know how to deal with this now. I will say to him, like, hey, I'm not feeling good today, or I'm really like a short fuse today, so just heads up.
I'll give her space.
Fair warning. Then he doesn't mess with me. I don't like mess with him. Then he also will like add a lot of humor to things, so that also helps. But like by no means have I ever said to him some of these hurtful things that I've heard people say to each other. That it's
can't take back.
No.
Nelson, ask a question if you're confused. Like just ask a question. You're like, I'm confused. Ask the question. But it's a reveal myself to, it's not the circumstances that define you, it reveals you to yourself. And if I can say I'm having a hormonal or emotional day as an excuse or a justification to be absolutely ruthless and cruel to you, that's how I love.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or get overwhelmed or yeah.
Who is that?
Got it.
Thank you, baby. We should probably hop off. We've been doing this for a couple hours now. Okay?
Okay.
Want to hop off?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do our thing. All right, cool. So for any of you guys who want to jump in with our stuff, thanks for jumping in Warrior Wednesday. I didn't realize how long we were on flow.
I know.
We were on flow today. We'll post this back up for our Patreon people, but this is a powerful couple hours, babe. We went pretty hard today.
Yeah, it's good. Thanks for being here with us.
Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for our YouTube people. We really appreciate you guys very, very much. Yeah, Brandon, you can see, like, our YouTube that's what the mics are for. It's not for the TikTok. This is for our stuff. Our date night's going to be different tonight, Rob, because we got an injured daughter. So we are staying home tonight.
Yeah, we're not going anywhere.
But it doesn't mean that we will not be spending time together.
Yeah.
But we just got to make sure our girls are okay. But we will be staying in tonight. But it doesn't mean that we are absent of quality and deliberate time. I will be absolutely spending my time with her. Not using this like, well, I guess we're not going on a date, so I'll just go do whatever I want. I'm like, no, it's still my time with my baby tonight.
Mm-hmm.
We just won't be going out or doing an activity, which is the point of the activity, is to be with your baby.
That's right.
And so be with your person. All right, let's call it, baby. Let's do the thing.
All
right.
It.
For all of you, like Tika always tells us, like, subscribe, hit buttons. We don't got to tell you what to do. You guys know what to do. Join the stuff. And make sure that you guys take care of each other, love your people, protect your pack, do all the cool things. Yeah. Otherwise, have a great night, man. Thanks guys for spending Wednesday with us.
Thank you.
We appreciate you guys.
Have a good night.
See you guys. I'm going to shut this one down. And
we ended that like my transition earlier.
Yeah, we did it. Later, guys.
Bye. Good night.